called Why Eden? Why a Garden? Where are the trees? The author, Dr. Zevit, makes an attempt at the meaning of Eden. He looked at the Aramaic, the Akkadian. He looks at the word Adana. When it enters Egyptian, what does it mean? The prophet Amos also refers to a Bet Eden or Bet Eden. And the meaning turns out to be house of bounty or bountiful. Bountiful, my friend writes, looks like it means Eden. And what's interesting about that also is when you go to 1 Nephi 17, you get the first appearance of the word bountiful in the Book of Mormon. You'll see it in the chapter heading of 1 Nephi 1, but it's not in the canon. It's in the summary, which was written in the latter days as a reference point. But here, in 1 Nephi 17, it appears in the text. It says they called it bountiful because of its much fruit and wild honey. Now the land of promise is called the land of promise because it is a land flowing with milk and honey, and Eden is the place of much fruit. So bountiful appears to be a merger between Eden and the promised land. So what we need to find is we need to find Eden in the promised land. And the LDS people have a very unique theology about the Garden of Eden being in America, specifically in Missouri. And we also have a belief in a place called Adam-on-Diamond. Now, what is Adam-on-Diamond? It's a gathering where? At a temple site on what continent? The American continent, where Christ appears. Adam shows up. Christ holds a meeting that's a sacrament meeting, or something like a sacrament or a temple meeting, with a remnant group of people who have survived a cataclysmic event. Okay, what does that sound like? That's 3 Nephi 11. So we've had the whole doctrine of Adam-on-Diamond sitting right in front of our face from the beginning. And guess what Joseph said? Joseph makes this statement at one time like, don't say too much about this. It's actually the Lord who says in the Doctrine and Covenants, keep this a secret for now until it's time. Because we don't want everybody knowing about this. I can't remember what section that's in. So 3 Nephi 11 becomes this place that the remnant goes to, and they know they are supposed to go there after they see a certain set of signs. Okay? So as Latter-day Saints, who believe in the second coming, we have the entire pattern laid out in front of our face. And it appears that current events are matching the signs and the circumstances leading up to the second coming. And we have a president of the church who is speaking in a very alarmist fashion since he took office in 2018. All right.
So don't miss his talks in 16, though. I played with my sisters and went to the priesthood.
Is that the one where he says, please go read DNC 107 and DNC 25?
25. Yeah, and then 107 and
84.
That was a little later.
I'll propose to you a theory I have. DNC 25 is directed at Emma Smith.
It's for everybody, though. Get out of Babylon.
You know how I would say it is? Why I would say that's correct? Emma Smith is often painted in somewhat of a bad light. Okay? What if the Lord intended Emma to go through all of that to become a parable? Because doesn't Emma become a parable of the church? As Emma sort of appears to diminish. Well, I'm not saying she did, right? I'm saying it appears that she goes from being kind of the exalted partner of Joseph to a left-behind woman out of the covenant whose children fall away. That sounds to me like the modern LDS people. So I shouldn't say she's a parable of the church. She's a parable of our culture and what we have done as a culture and people. And I wondered if that's why he asked us to read it.
Interesting.
Because we have kind of become like her in that very section where the Lord says, hey, you got to put away the things of the world.
Interesting.
Okay, so you want to tell us what to do?
Yeah.
All right,
I have two big questions.
Okay.
That's one of them.
so,
What- like the what now? Yeah. Because I feel like there's, I don't know, there's a lot of us that feel, I mean, what you're doing is amazing, and I could do this all day and all night for weeks and months and probably years on end and not get bored. But I don't know if it's possible for all of us to do what you do. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so where do we go from here?
Okay, so, look at this real quick. I could spend like a long time on this. Okay, now, are we kind of officially in the Q&A section? Can I ask no more recording? If I'm gonna answer this bluntly? Is that okay?